Okay. Welcome to the course unit 9 of the community-based correction. The topic for today is all about the Parole and Probation Administration, or so what we call yung PPA. Ito yung laging pinag-uusapan natin doon sa probation, di ba? Sino yung nag-supervise doon sa mga probationer. Okay? So, let's start. So, the topics to be discussed, what are the core values, service objectives, administrative objectives, and their organizational chart. So, padali lang to, very quick. So, introduction, okay? The probation administration was created by the virtue of PD 968. So, this is the legal system, okay? The probation law of 1976 to administer the probation system. So, under EO 292 or the Administrative Code of 1987, which was promulgated on November 23, 1989, the probation administration was renamed as Parole and Probation Administration. Dati kasi, ang tawag sa kanya is Probation Administration. Ang sinusupervise lang niya is the probation lang. Okay. So, nung nagkaroon ng EO 292, pinalitan na siya. Kaya siya naging PPA. Diba? Yan ko yung cursor ko. Nakakasunod ba kayo?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, dati, di ba, ang tawag dati sa kanya is just only Probation Administration. So, nabuo siya through the virtue of PD 968. Dumating si EO 292 at ang tawag na sa kanya ngayon ay, again, it is Parole and Probation Administration. Kaya nga tinatawag natin siya as PPA. Okay. Given added function of supervising prisoners who after serving their part, sentence and shares are released on parole, pardon, and parole conditions. So, dati kasi, from that law, okay, sabi ko nga, probation administration lang. Ang sinusupervise lang nila is yung mga nag-undergo ng probation. Ngayon, by virtue of this EO 292, ayan, nagkaroon na ng, tawag dito, powers or jurisdiction doon sa mga mag-grant ang parole. So, it was effective on August 17, 2005, by virtue of Memorandum Agreement with Dangerous Drug Boards. The administration performs another additional function of investigating and supervising the first-time minor drug offenders or who are placed on suspended in pursuant to RA 9165. Tapos nagkaroon pa nung dahil sa RA 9165, nadagdagan pa ng trabaho itong si probation, PPA na tinatawag natin ngayon. Anong nadagdag na trabaho sa kanila? Dun sa mga first-time offender ng drugs cases. Ayan, nag-undergo sila ng probation automatic. So, the Parole and Probation Administration in Filipino, ang tawag sa kanya ay Pangasiwaan ng Parol at Probasyon. It was abbreviated as the PPA. It is an agency of the Philippine government under what? Department of Justice. Okay, again, PPA is under the Department of Justice. Hindi po sa Office ng President, hindi po sa DILG. Under po siya ng DOJ. Kasing kasi yan, ang PPA kasi, ang katumbas niyan yung mga BGMP, Bucor. Yan. So, again, PPA is under the Department of Justice. So, they are responsible for providing a less costly alternative to imprisonment of first-time offenders who are likely to respond to individualized community-based treatment programs. Ito yung mga batas. Tignan nyo ha. Diba? PD 968, as you can see dyan, na-create si ating Probation Administration. Dumating si EO 292, napalitan si Probation Administration ng Parole and Probation Administration. Naging siyang PPA. Okay? And then, they given the added function, yun nga, na pati sa parole, magkakaroon na sila ng supervision, hindi lang sa parole. Dumating itong si Section 66 ni RA 9165, sabi niya, or the Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act of 2002. Ngayon, ang nangyari sa kanila, the Parole and Probation Administration or the PPA was given the duty of investigating and supervising the first-time minor drug offenders and placed under the suspended sentence na to. Next, nagkaroon tayo ng Section 54 then and 57 of RA 9165 wherein, okay, the Parole and the PPA was given the task to supervise a person placed on probation or community service under voluntary service program. Diba, for example, alam niyo yung nagkaroon ng war on drugs. Tapos, diba, yung pinapasuko nila agad yung mga, or tinatawag natin voluntary surrender. Diba? Yung nag-surrender ng volunteer, hindi nila hinintay yung mga pulis na hulihin sila. Yung mga ganon, ang nangyari sa kanila, they are given the automatic probation system or probation application of the in due or dun sa kapalit ng pag-surrender nila na drug user sila. Okay? So, yun. Under ng ating section 54 and 57, mag-undergo sila ng probation system. Makakatuloy pa ba or nakakagets pa ba? Hello? Next, okay? Nung dumating ang RA 10389, di ba? The Recognizance Act of 2012. The parole or the PPA was given the responsibility of monitoring and evaluating the activities of the person released on recognizance. Tapos, nadagdagan na naman yung ano niya, trabaho ng mga PPA. Anong trabaho nila? Pati yung, alam niyo yung mga nagbe-bail sa bail of recognizance. Naalala niyo yon? Diba? Sino nga yung mga, anong ibig sabihin ng release on recognizance? Again, ano nga ibig sabihin ng release of recognizance? Bail on release or recognizance. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Di ba yun yung mga napalaya sa bail by, wala silang binayad, pero meron lang responsible na tao. Di ba? Katulad ng barangay captain or so whatever. So, under ng RA 10389, dinagdagan pa yan ng trabaho sa PPA. Sabi niya, they have the right to supervise dun sa mga taong na-release on recognizance. Okay? Next, nagkaroon tayo ng EO 468, Revitalization of VPA Program or the Volunteer Probation Aid Program. The Parole and Probation Administration was mandated to revitalize the Volunteer Probation Aid Program to heighten and maximize the community involvement and participation in community-based program of the agency in the prevention of crime, treatment of offenders, and criminal justice administration. So, tas pinapalawag nila yung ating BPA or yung Volunteer Probation Aid Program. And lastly, syempre, ayan, ang ating RA 10707, diba, which is yung topic natin last week, the amendments of PD 968 were in the Section 4, the grant of probation, okay, Section 9, and the Section 24. So, tapos nagkaroon na tayo ng, di ba, iniba na yung pangalan ng mga probation assistants. Ano na yung pangalan ng mga probation assistant natin today? Anong tawag na sila sa kanila ngayon? Anong tawag na sa mga volunteer aid natin ngayon?
Assistant, Volunteer Probation Assistant.
VPA na siya. Okay. So, again, these are the legal requirements or the legal amendments for the creation of Parole and Probation Administration. Okay, again, this is the legal requirements or parang ito yung legal system na nagkaroon sa ating PPA ngayon. Yan ang pagkakasunod-sunod niya. Sino nga ang nag-create again ng PPA? Saan siya nag-start? Anong law? It is what? Anong law? Kakadiscuss lang. Ano ang law na nag-create sa PPA?
PD 968.
No. EO 292.
Executive Order.
EO 292. Nag-start kasi siya ng probation administration lang. Diba? Doon sa PD 968. Tapos, naging siyang PPA or Probation and Parole and Probation Administration by the virtue of EO 292. So, again, just read na lang ulit to if hindi nyo pa ulit maintindihan. Meron ba ano ba yung hindi nyo naintindihan dito? Explain ko lang dito yung mga parang responsibilities or paano nadagdagan yung mga roles, diba? Functions ng ating PPA. Again, yung PPA na yan, Parole and Probation Administration, ito yung agency kung saan kayo sino yung nagsusupervise sa ating mga probationer, parole, or so whatever. Naintindihan po ba? So, dyan tayo, pwede kayo mag-apply dyan as a probation officer. Ayan. Ano ba ang mandate ng PPA? Okay? For the information of everyone, this infos, okay, nakuha ko lahat ng information na to doon sa mismong main site nila, which is nilagay ko naman sa canvas nyo. Okay? So, what is the mandate of this PPA? The mandate of PPA is to conserve or redeem convicted offenders and prisoners who are under the probation or parole system. So, ibig sabihin, yun ang mandato nila. Sila ang mag-supervise, mag-a-administer dun sa ating, sa mga taong naka-apply for probation and parole system. Mission. What is the mission of this PPA? To rehabilitate, to reintegrate persons on community-based correction for peace and social justice. Siyempre, kaya tayo merong PPA para nga matulungan, di ba, ang ating mga nag-undergo ng community correction, di ba? Community-based correction na ma-rehabilitate at ma-reintegrate sila within the groups of our society. What is the vision? Ang vision, ano ba yung pinupunto nila? Diba? By 2024, sabi niya, the DOJ PPA is the ASEAN's models of community-based correction in crime prevention. Yan ang goal nila, diba? Yan ang pinaka-vision daw nila. Sa tingin nyo, makukuha nila yan? By 2024 daw, ang ating DOJ PPA, sila na daw ang magiging ASEAN's model of community-based correction in crime prevention. So that is their vision. What are their goals, diba? Promote the reformation of criminal offenders and reduce the incidence of recidivism. What is recidivism again? What is recidivism?
Pag-ulit, pagbalik-balik.
Nang alin?
Ng paggawa ng crime.
Crime,
Okay,
tao.
yan. So, yun ang goal nila para ma-reduce ang
Basic.
basic. Buti alam mo, basic. How about the others? Basic ba sa kanila? So, provide a cheaper alternative to the institutional confinement of the first-time offenders who are likely to respond to individualized and community-based treatment programs. So, ito yung goal nila. Sabat daw, cheaper siya. So, mas makakatipid ang ating institutional correction, diba? Kasi, syempre, mababawasan yung mga babantayan nila sa loob ng kulungan if nag-undergo sila ng community-based correction. So, ito yung mga organizational core values nila. They have performance, professionalism, and accountability. Inano din nila ng PPA. Performance, professionalism, and accountability. So, performance, sabi niya, dapat meron silang teamwork, diba? Resourcefulness, and innovativeness. So, efficient and effective accomplishment of tasks and targets beginning with individual officials and employees and throughout all the units in the organizational hierarchy. And then, sa professionalism nila, kailangan merong role modeling, serving and inspiring by example, diba? Parang kung probation officer ka, eto, kailangan role model ka sa lahat. Professional excellence, sabi niya, achieving high standards for ethical and quality services. So, professionalism is the high level of proficiency on the job resulting from mastery and conscientious applications of appropriate knowledge and skills, honed by sound judgment, self-discipline, and unceasing striving of excellence. Next, and the last one of our organizational core values is the accountability. So, they also have the responsibility and honesty and integrity. Responsibility, it means you're achieving expectation, answering for results, and honesty and integrity, being upright and transparent in transactions and relations. So again, this is the organizational core values of the Parole and Probation Administration. This stands for PPA also, performance, professionalism, and accountability. Next, what are the functions of PPA? Diba? They have three functions. To administer parole and probation system. Again, they are the one who administer parole and probation system. To exercise supervision over probationers, parolees, and pardonees. Sila din ang nagsusupervise, okay? Sa mga probationers natin, parolees, and pardonees. And last one na function nila as to promote the correction and rehabilitation of criminal offenders. So, these are the service objectives of our PPA. Ano ba yung mga service objectives nila? Konti na lang to. Tatapos na rin tayo. So, service objectives, to provide the courts with the relevant information of judicious recommendation for the selection of offenders to be placed on probation. Sa tingin nyo, paano itong to provide the courts? Paano sila nakakapag-provide ng relevant information sa court? By what? By giving court what? Sige nga, i-analyze nyo, i-implement nyo yung pinag-aralan nyo last week. Paano sila nakakapag-provide ng information? Kasi ito yung, pag sinabing service objectives, ito yung mga ginagawa nila. Or ito yung mga objective nila sa trabaho nila. Sabi dyan, number 1, to provide the courts with relevant information and judicious recommendation for the selection of offenders to be placed on probation. Anong part to ng trabaho nila? Anong part to? Anyone?
Inquietang probation officer, ma'am.
Oo nga, anong trabaho
Ma'am, yun
nila?
dun po ata sa post investigation.
PSIR.
Post-sentence investigation
report.
Okay, yun. Dadalawa lang yata yung estudyante ko, si Ashley tsaka si Paolo, diba?
Basic,
Again,
ma'am.
Basic. Okay, again, PSIR, diba? Ito yung trabaho nila, diba? Nakakapag-recommend sila if approved ba yung taong yon na mag-undergo ng probation by the virtue of their PSIR. Ilang days nga meron ng isang probation officer para i-conduct ang PSIR? Sige, basic lang to. Ilang days?
60.
Okay. So, next service objective naman nila is to provide the boards of pardons and parole. Okay. Hindi muna natin kikilalanin si BPP. Okay. So, another agency kasi yan. Okay. Ito muna, si PPA muna. So, si PPA kasi, he is working also with the, tawag ito, correction, community-based correction. And, si PPA at BPP, minsan, nagko-connive yan. Okay, to provide the BPP or what we call the boards and pardons and paroles with necessary and relevant information which can be used in determining a prisoner's fitness to parole or any forms of executive clemency. Okay. Ang BPP para siyang court, okay? Parang siya, kung yung court, siya yung nagbibigay or nag-grant ng probation. Sa BPP naman po, yung Boards of Pardons and Parole, sila ang nag-grant ng pardon and parole. Nag-gets nyo na yung pinagkaiba. Diba? Isa pa ha? Diba sa probation? Okay, diba sa probation, ang nag-grant nun, sino? Sino nag-grant ng probation?
Yung court po.
Court, okay. Ma'am, how about pardons and parole? Sino ang nag-grant niyan? Ito yon. Si BPP. Si Boards of Pardons and Parole. Okay? Si BPP kasi ang nag-grant ng pardons and parole. So, sino ang nagre-recommend? So, katulad ng ginagawa ni PPA kay court, ang nagre-recommend din ng information about doon sa nag-a-apply ng magkaroon ng pardon and parole is itong si PPA. Siya yung nagbibigay ng information kay BPP kung karapat-dapat ba or i-recommend ba niya si nag-apply sa pardon and parole. Naiintindihan niyo yan? Nag-gets niyo ba yan? Yung pinagkaiba ng PPA and BPP. Next, to provide the Dangerous Drug Board or DDB naman with pertinent information and prudent recommendations for the determination of first-time minor drug offender to be placed on suspended sentence. Sila din, kasi nga, trabaho nila mag-conduct ng PSIR, di ba? Yung Post-Sentence Investigation Report. So, therefore, yung DDB din, which is katulad ng work ng BPP, sila yung ang PPA, siya yung magbibigay ng information kay DDB if pwede ba na mag-undergo ng probation, parole, or pardon itong si first-time minor drug offender. Okay, next. To affect the rehabilitation and integration of the probationers, parolees, pardonists, and first-time minor drug offender as productive, law-abiding, and socially responsible members of the community. Ayan. Siyempre, ang PPA natin, sila yung nagsusupervise. Sabi nga natin, sila yung nag-administer. So, isa sa mga service objective nila is to implement the rehabilitation and integration of those undergoing community-based correction. Next, to To prevent recidivism. Ayan, di ba? Goal nila yan. Service objective. Kailangan mabawasan to or ma-prevent nila. And protect the community through a well-planned supervisions of probationer, parolees, pardonists, and the first-time minor drug offender. To make use of innovative, yan, financially financially and technically feasible project to uplift the moral, spiritual, and economic condition of probationers, parolees, pardonists, and first-time minor drug offenders by utilizing available community resources as much as possible. Diba, isa sa mga goal nila, kailangan makatipid daw sila. So, yun. Next, to continuously assess and improve professional performance in post-sentence, ayan, pre-parole, ayan, executive clemency, suspended sentence investigation, case management, and other related work. So, kailangan magkaroon sila ng, or makapag-provide sila ng much better services for their types of work, like conducting PSIR, conducting suspended sentence investigation, or ano man yung mga functions nila. Also, another service objective nila is to periodically review the probation law and its implementing rules so as to reconcile the same with evolving realities in the field. So, there is a chances na, kanwari, gusto nilang ibahin yung nasa law, nasa kanila yon. Kasi nakita nila masyadong malawag or nakita nila na kapag ganito yung batas natin, hindi nagiging effective. And last one, syempre, to assiduously observe and uphold the professional ethics in the delivery of services. When we say assiduously observe and uphold the professional ethics, it means professionalism. Diba? Isa nga yun sa mga core values nila. Diba? Performance, diba? Professionalism and accountability. So, itong last one na to, itong professionalism, syempre, kailangan daw walang corrupt or so whatever. But do you believe in that? Walang corrupt?
No.
Next, okay, administrative objectives. What are the administrative objectives of parole and probation administration? So, to optimize operations through a maximum functioning of existing units according to their respective duties. Ayan. To systematic expansion of services according to demands of probation work and available resources. Actually, itong number 1, to optimize operation through, ibig sabihin parang mas gawing better nila yung services or yung pagmamanage ng kanilang trabaho. Ayan. Kaso nga lang, tignan nyo to. Itong, sabi niya, maximum functioning of existing units according to their respective duties. Di ba nga nagkukulangan sila ng officers? For example, yung sa RTC Angeles, ang dami nilang mga parole and probation. Tapos, ang mga personnel nila, mga nasa 30 lang. Ayan. And then, systematic expansion of services according to the demands of probation work and available resources. So, dahil nga dumami yung mga nag-apply ng probation and parole, ganyan, pardon, nahihirapan na din yung ating parole and probation administration on how they will deliver the services of community-based correction. So, sometimes, hindi nila ma-maximize or makapagbigay ng systematic operations. Hindi ko sila sinasiraan, pero binibigay ko lang yung actual scenario. Okay na nangyayari ngayon, lalo na nung nagkaroon tayo ng drug cases. Next is the judicious utilization of limited agency resources so as to obtain desired results in the best manner possible with least expenditures of times, efforts, and money. So, sa mga gantong community-based correction, as much as possible, sana yung nakakatipid sila. Ayan. Kasi nga, yun ang goal nila, di ba? Para makatipid yung institution, also, para ma-maximize natin yung use ng ating mga resources. And then, number 2, administrative objective, to achieve united approach to agency goals through integrated planning and constant coordination among all units. Diba nga sabi ko sa inyo, ang PPA, nagtatrabaho siya, kasama ang BPP, nakikipag-connive sila, ganyan. Kasama ang court, madami pong connection ito si PPA. Meron siyang court, meron siyang DOJ, meron siyang BPP, meron din sa mga drugs, pati sa mga police, pati sa Bucor, BGMP. Lahat. Masyadong malawak ang connections nitong si PPA. So, ang gusto nila is they have a united approach to agency goals. Therefore, they will establish a constant coordination among all the units or parang lahat nakikipag-coordinate sila in order for them to provide a better services. And last one, administrative objective is, last one na ba to? Ay, no, number 3 pa lang pala. To develop a more efficient and up-to-date system. Ayan, kailangan daw meron silang efficient and up-to-date system of what? Collection, collation, analysis of data relative to probation, parole, suspended sentence case laws, and their management. I just want to share this one. Diba objective nila to? Nung nag-OJT kami, dyan sa, hindi ko na sasabihin na nung office yon dito sa Pampanga, ng PPA, alam mo pinatrabaho nila sa amin? Pinaretrieve nila yung mga papers nila, yung mga investigations reports nila from year 1980s to 2000s. So, alam niyo bang nangyari doon? Nag-open kami ng mga folder nila at napakadami. As in, makikita mo yung pinagtatype nila, hindi pa computer, yung ano pa, typewriter pa. So, syempre, isa sa mga administrative objective nila is para mawala na yung mga caseloads na ganun. So, if up-to-date system ang gagamitin nila, dapat therefore, they should have a systematic file online. Diba? Lahat naman ngayon dapat online na. Diba? Para easy access of information. So, ganon. So, siguro ngayon, meron na silang mga online system wherein katulad doon sa mga napapanood natin sa Amerika, ganyan, or sa mga ibang bansa na isang search lang ng pangalan, lalabas lahat ng case records ng isang tao. Pag isang labas lang ng fingerprint, lalabas lahat ang information niya about tao. Pero tingin ko dito sa Philippines, magkakaroon pa lang ng ganong system sa atin. Yung kanwari, search mo lang yung pangalan, lalabas na yung case record niya. If matutuloy yung national ID system natin. If natuloy yung national ID system natin, yun, mas madali ang tracing ng tao. Mas madali ang kilalanin kung sino yung mga tao na yan. So hopefully sana mag-push through. Kasi kapag meron tayong national ID system, therefore, pati yung mga workloads ng ating mga different agencies, mas madali yan. Kasi
Pasado na po, ma'am?
Pasado na, pero hanggang ngayon, di ba, hindi pa naman nagkakandak. Sa amin nga, wala pang kumukuha ng information eh. Kasi mag-i-start yan per barangay eh. Pasado lang, pero hindi pa ginagawa. Okay? Next. To recruit qualified employees and volunteer aides and promote their continuing professional development. Ayan, syempre, kahit konti lang yung personnel nila, pero they are trying to recruit, ganyan, yung mga gustong mag-apply to their organization. And then, to continuously improve staff and line service through adequate personal supervision, relevant search, and periodic evaluation. Ito yung mahirap sa kanila. Ang konti lang po talaga ng mga personal ng mga ganito, yung mga Parole and Probation Administration. Ayan. Next is to generate greater public and interagency support for the probation through an integrated and systematic public information. To actively participate in government jail decongestion, yun nga, di ba, goal nila yan, para matulungan yung mga institutional correction natin. Pag sinabi natin decongestion, parang binabawasan yung laman ng mga jail. Diba? In this connection, to give priority to detention prisoners or in our public information drives. And lastly, to cooperate and coordinate with the other agencies to the government in accomplishment of national program trust. Ayan. So, ito yung functional chart natin. So, ang isang PPA, yung pinaka-head nila, ang tawag niya ay administrator. Again, sa isang PPA, kaya ang ating PPA, pinamumunuan niya ng isang administrator. Ang tanong, ano ba ang trabaho ng administrator? It acts as the head of agency and executive officer of the administration. So, isa sa mga assignment nyo ngayon is to search for the current, administrator of the PPA. Next, syempre, yung next in rank ng administrator, we have the deputy administrator. So, it assists the administrator and performs such duties may be assigned by administrator. So, hindi sila chief. Hindi chief ang tawag sa kanila or so whatever. Sa PPA, ang tawag sa mga head nila is administrator. Next, meron silang, ayan, administrative division. Ayan. So, sa administrative division, they provide general support of services, namely management of disbursement, diba? Collection, public information dissemination, through quadric media records, di ba? Management, screening of applicants for hiring promotion through psychological testing and evaluation and capability of enhancement of personnel. Then, meron din sila na regional and probation offices. Kaya yan, di ba? Meron tayong Region 3. Yun din yung assignment nyo. Hanapin nyo ano yung, kung ilan ang mga offices sa ating Region 3. And then, syempre, locate nyo din ano yung information sa kanila. Sino yung mga current personnel nila, saan sila located. Next, we have also the Financial and Management Division. Syempre, itong part na to, sila yung nagmamanage sa gastusin. Diba? Sabi nga nila, as much as possible, less cost ang kailangan nilang gawin. Meron din silang Planning Division. Diba? Dito yung mga papaplano nila kung paano nila bibigay ang services nila. They also have Case Management and Records Division. Dito naman lahat ng information, paano nila i-retrieve, paano nila i-save. Ganyan. Community Service Division, it strengthens the community involvement in the rehabilitation of clients and generates and mobilizes resources. Itong Community Service Division, ang role niya is to encourage the community on how to accept or on how to help, diba, the persons undergoing community-based correction. Then also, meron din tayong Legal Division, syempre yung mga lawyers nila. And also, we have the Technical and Service Division. So, yan ang functional chart. Again, sino nga ang head? Ano ang tawag sa head ng isang PPA? Ng ating PPA ngayon sa Pilipinas? It is what?
Administrator.
Administrator. Okay. So, ang assignment niya is to search for the current administrator of the PPA in the Philippines and the deputy administrator. So, yan ang organizational chart niya. Galing, di ba, sabi nga natin, ang PPA is under ng DOJ. So, ito yung Office of the Administrator, Office of Deputy Administrator, Planning Staff, tapos nagkaroon ng dalawang function, dito yung financial, dito yung administrative. So, iba't iba yung mga function. Merong legal, case management, training, community, and clinical. So, ito yung organizational chart ng ating Parole and Probation Administration. So, parang ganito, ayan, Office of the Administrator, Office of the Deputy Administrator, ayan. Meron tayong Administrative Division, Financial, Planning. Parang sa police din, meron silang gano'n, di ba? Sa atin, meron tayong Chief of the Police, ganyan. Chief PNP, tapos yung kasunod niya. Tapos merong support staff, merong admin staff, di ba? Ayun. Sila din, gano'n din sila. So, sabi ko nga, it is an agency. So, as of now, they have 16 regional parole and probation offices, kabilang na ang Region 3. They also have 222 provincial city parole and probation offices, and they have sub-offices and extension offices. Madami po yan. So, ang pinapahanap ko lang sa inyo is yung sa Region 3, especially dito sa Pampanga. So, number of employees and regional field offices as December of 2019. Tignan nyo. Sabi ko sa inyo, konti lang sila. A total of number of employees, 1,019 lang sila. Kulang. Tignan nyo sa Region 3, 68 lang. Diba? Ang konti lang nila. Number of regional offices, yan, 16. Number of provincial offices. Number of city offices. Number of sub-office. Number of extension office. So again, ang assignment nyo is just to find this one. Yung sa Region 3. Eto. Meron tayong evolution of agency seal. So, last 3 slides. Bago, ito kasi talaga yung seal niya. So, start muna natin. So, during 1977 and 1991, nung natatag na nga ang ating PD 968, eto, ganyan pa lang yung ating logo. Probation Administration ang tawag sa kanya, di ba? Anong law nga ito? Itong Probation Administration? Law? Anong law again ang nagtatag ng Probation Administration again?
968.
PD 968. Si Paolo lang yata ang nakikinig. And then, ito, nung February 23, 1992 to February 23, 2011, pinalitan nila. Ito na yung logo nila. So, from dito, naging ganyan. So, the bars. Ito yung mga bars. Ayan. The bars signified the maximum sentence of term of 6 years imprisonment that one may qualify for probation. Tignan nyo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then green leaves. Anong ibig sabihin ng green leaves niya? Reflect the 19 philosophies and concept of probation and parole system. Then meron siyang weighing scale. It depicts the equality in justice and its ceaseless effort in achieving its goal. Ayan. And then, ito, spokes of the wheel. Ito yung mga spokes niya. Okay? Ilan sila? It represents the regional offices of the Parole and Probation Administration through which it carries on its mandate. So, 16 dapat to. Ayan. So, ginamit yung ano na yan, yung mismong tawag dito, ginamit itong logo na to from 1992 to February 23, 2011. And then now, eto na siya. Ayan, dinagdagan nila, tingnan nyo. May dinagdag sila dyan. Tignan mo yung dinagdag natin. So, they have the strong Manila hemp cord. Ito, wala naman to kanina, di ba? Wala naman yan. Ito yung strong Manila hemp cord. Ayan. So, appearing in the signal of Department of Justice. Ayan. And detonating membership of PPA and the DOJ family. So, itong Manila hemp cord na yan, they represents the DOJ. And then again, responsible pa rin ng 6 bars. And then, nandun pa rin yung balance weighing scale, di ba? And then, ito, nadagdagan siya ng glowing yellow background. Bakit glowing yellow background siya? Signifying the brighter future afforded a rehabilitated offender. Yun ang dahilan kung bakit siya yellow. And then, tingnan nyo, dinagdagan nila from, ayan, hindi pala dinagdagan, 19 pa rin. They also have 19 green laurel leaves, ayan. So, reflecting the 19 philosophies, principles, and concept of Philippine probation system. And then, ito, 17 spokes of wheel red and white. Ito, bakit kaya naging 17? Kanina, 16 lang, diba? 16 lang ba to? Ilan ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 16 lang to, diba? So, bakit kaya naging 17? Representing the central office and 16 regional offices. So, dinagdag nila itong sa central office. Kaya naging siyang 17. So, with their component field units which carry the PPA and DOJ mandate. So, white, itong white part symbolizes the purity and agency missions. And the red, okay, vigor and its vision. And the spokes, itong mga yan, yung tusok-tusok niya, the strength of purpose of that underlie both. So, yung strength nila. So, yun lang. So, ito ang ating, tawag niyan, evolutions of agency seal. Ito po ang sinusundan natin ngayon. So, again, wala kayong assignment for today, pero meron kayong, assignment. Wala kayong quiz for today, pero ang quiz niya is next meeting about sa diniscuss ko today. So, do you have any questions before we end this discussion?
Good day, ma'am.
Ako po.
Yes, what is your question now?
Ma'am,
Yung ano po sana, regarding po doon sa napanood ko doon sa YouTube, yung isa sa mga link nyo po.